So good morning. It's a very early start to the day here in Darwin. Huge day ahead of us today. So we've got a drive of somewhere just over 1,000 kilometers from here to south of Tennant Creek, through the Northern Territory, right down through the centre of Australia. So it's going to be an interesting day, not without its challenges. The Northern Territory charging network hasn't got a huge amount of fast charging, as we've seen on the WA EV network. It's something that they're working on here in the territory, but the first stage is down to Catherine, fast charging Catherine, and then head down much further south from there. So keep your eye out on the things that we're going to be looking at today. First challenge of the day is we're going to have to drive really carefully and slowly, because obviously as the sun is coming up there'll be lots of animals and things like that on the road, and up here certainly already we've seen dingoes and cows and roos and all that sort of stuff. So we've got to be super careful as we're driving today. So yeah, big day ahead. Look forward to it. So as you can see on the camera angle, the sun is just starting to set up here in the Northern Territory. It's been a pretty long day. Started from Darwin well before dawn this morning. I think total Ks today is going to be just over 1,000. I've got about 140 odd kilometers to get into Tennant Creek, which is our base for the night. It's been an interesting drive. I visited Daily Waters, a place I've never been to before. Not many places I think where you drive into the community as two donkeys are walking down the middle of the road and a horse. Certainly one of the more unusual places we visited on here. But it got me thinking as I was driving and racking up the Ks. We've gone well over 5,000 now. Just how many Ks our supporters, our participants will have done over the years. This year's the 40th year of the original bash, the B2B in New South Wales. For us in WA, this is the 35th year that we've been running the bash. We've got 48 cars and all the sport vehicles heading up to the Kimberley, as we've mentioned before, in just a couple of weeks, and traversing a couple of 1,000 kilometres. And how much have they done over those 35 years, and what difference has it made? And I thought it was worth mentioning that in the 50 years, or coming up on 50 years, Variety's existed across Australia, we've been running motor events and things involving cars for 40 of them. And that's raised over $250 million. These people that give up their time, that decorate their cars, that dress up, that go out into their communities and ask for support and raise money, and have been doing it consistently year after year after year. And in WA, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do to support children across the entire state without the amazing work that all of these people have done for decades. And, you know, so if you see them out at a sausage sizzle this weekend trying to raise money for their bash car for the Kimberley in a couple of weeks' time, just think what that does, and just think that the impact that has. Last year, Variety in WA supported 23,755 children, thanks in large part to these guys. And it's the same across the entire country. South Australia, where we're heading to tomorrow, are just finishing up their bash from Adelaide to the Gold Coast, and they're exactly the same. You know, everywhere you look, people put time and effort in to raise money to make a difference. So as I'm driving down and, you know, just thinking about the world as the sun sets, just, you know, want to pay tribute to all those people that give it their time and their efforts and their energies to support the work that we do. You know, please keep it going. And if you want to see more of that we're doing, tomorrow is going to be a big day, heading down towards Uluru, one of the most iconic sites in the entire country. Really looking forward to that. So, you know, like the video, hit subscribe, you'll find out what we're doing tomorrow, and then as we head into South Australia before we head back across the Nullarbor. But yeah, thanks very much.
Perfectly fine.
to day 7 of the Variety Big Electric Adventure. We overnighted at Tennant Creek in the Northern Territory after about a 1,000-kilometre drive down from Darwin, heading further south today on our journey down to join our friends in South Australia. Obviously finishing today at one of the most iconic locations in the whole of Australia. But it's going to be a challenging day because, as we discovered, there's limited very fast charging in the Northern Territory, so the locations we find, we have to generally tend to stay there a little bit longer and charge on a slow charge. So that's going to be the challenge today, 900 kilometres and slow charging, so it's going to be a long day, but time to get going. See you in a bit. Just stopped to charge in Barrow Creek, halfway between Tennant Creek and Alice Springs. Really tiny little community, population of 11 apparently, but this was the site of a telegraph repeater station, which back over 100 years ago allowed rapid communication between Australia and the rest of the world. We were trying to work it out. We think it was with Morse code probably at about 1 bit per second, and as we said yesterday, we've got mobile Starlink in the car. Mine's currently running at 300 megabits per second, so it just shows how the world has evolved. Amazing that these tiny little communities have got these electric charging stations, so we can plug in, nice quick charge, and onto Alice Springs. So we're in the Northern Territory. We've recently left Barrow Creek, where we did a quick charge on our way heading down to Alice Springs. And I think this is about the halfway point in the journey. So so we've covered a lot, and there's still an awful lot more to come. So halfway on the home stretch now then. So let's keep it going. See ya. Good morning from day 8 of the Variety's Big Electric Adventure. Exciting day today. Early start, but not hitting the road to cover lots of kilometres straight away. We managed to make it through to Uluru late yesterday evening, and we are just off to look at the sunrise, which is going to be, I think, fairly spectacular, before heading on down out of the territory and down into South Australia today. So big day today, lots going on, fair distance to drive, but obviously a super exciting and iconic moment to start the day. So really looking forward to that. So another big moment on our trip. After over 6,700 kilometres, we have just crossed the border from the Northern Territory into South Australia. So last few days driving through the top end has been pretty interesting. One thing I will say is I think the charging network in the Northern Territory is definitely not on the same scale as it is on the WAEV network. Very limited fast charging, so there's been a lot more sort of longer delays while we've been charging. So it'll be interesting to see what the situation is in South Australia. But yeah, more to come. So another big day finished. We started with sunrise over Uluru, we're finishing with sunset in Coober Pedy. Great drive down through the last bits of the Northern Territory and through the top bit of South Australia. Another exciting day tomorrow, off to Adelaide, which is going to be great because we catch up with the Variety South Australia team. Hopefully they've recovered. Their bash, which went from South Australia up to Gold Coast, only finished a couple of days ago, and then they had the Variety Showdown Shield, the big huge game between Port Adelaide and the Adelaide Crows, took place last night. So hopefully they're all fit and recovered, and we look forward to catching up with them tomorrow and I'm sure, you know, we'll put some stuff out and you'll hear from them yourselves. So let's get ready for another big day tomorrow. Bye.